Hey guys, it's Vera Sweeney from Permission to Hustle doing a really quick podcast today, talking about some tools that I lean on to help streamline my everyday business tactics that I have to get through in order to call it a day at the end of the night. Now, my business day might not look exactly like your business day, but if you sort of listen through my process, perhaps it can spark an inspiration or an idea that you can use in your business line. And I think if you're part of our Permission to Hustle group, you do have some sort of business that requires you to have an online identity. So everything that I'm speaking about or will speak about does reference online tools, social media tools. And so hopefully you can get something out of this podcast, even if you aren't an online influencer. I feel like we all have to have our hand in the social media space. So as you know, as an influencer, as a storyteller, as a content creator, we have to have some sort of messaging going out on multiple streams, multiple platforms. And I have to be honest with you, I really do envy the people that only do one platform, the only YouTubers, the only Instagrammers, the people that only make videos for Facebook. I really do envy people that can truly put their full-fledged energy towards one platform, because the people who do that will really succeed. They will be able to catapult a lot further, a lot quicker than people who are throwing eggs in multiple baskets. But if you started a very long time ago, like most of us did, odds are you are across the board trying to keep some sort of presence alive on multiple platforms. And when you do that, it can be very overwhelming. Welcome to my world. And so what I tend to do is I tend to use tools to help me mitigate some of the stress. And I'm doing that right now. And I actually stopped midway and I said, I have to do a podcast because I have to show people the chaoticness that goes into, I'm no longer a one-woman show, but the truth of the matter is I should have 5 people helping me doing what I'm doing. And it's just me and my computer in my living room. And I know a lot of people can relate to that feeling. But there are so many tools that are luckily helping me make it that much easier. So I'm going away next week and I have 5 days that I am pretty much going to be offline. I won't be able to bring my computer with me, and that's very daunting. The thought of that is very daunting. And so I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I have my next week set up in a way that when people look at my stuff online, my profiles online, they won't feel like I fell off the face of the map. And so regarding Pinterest, for example, I'm using Tailwind, and Tailwind has tribes, and they have, ways that you can start managing your stuff and putting different pins to multiple boards. I'm doing that. I'm getting set up for next week. I had no pins scheduled for next week, and right now I sat down for 10 minutes. And I have 40 pins scheduled out to go every single day for the next 2 weeks now. I don't have to worry about Pinterest. Of course, you should live pin. There are different rules and subsets that we can talk about right now about the things that you should and shouldn't do on Pinterest. But as far as me keeping my account active, worst case scenario, I won't have a minute to spare on Pinterest. I know that thanks to Tailwind, I have pins going live. Now, here's a little secret that I do with Tailwind when I don't have a lot of time. So I have I have these things, they're like board lists. So I've created one that is completely about food, generic food, desserts, travel specific, Disney specific, DIY specific. I have them just about kids. I have stuff that are really just sort of clustered together. And so when I need to get through stuff really fast, I go into a tribe, I pick a pin that I really like, and I pin it to my travel board list, which gives me 20 pins automatically in my queue. I'm not sitting there and picking one at a time. I have to go and find 20 of my travel boards because that is a time suck. I did the work. I set up my Tailwind in a way that it is working for me, and I just have to click travel board list, and all of a sudden that one pin in 1 second is scheduled out to go to 20 some odd boards. Now, if I do that 20 times, I got a good chunk of my week scheduled. And that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm zipping through Tailwind, getting the best of the best I can out of tribes so I can put in my pins and hopefully get some sort of return from the people that I join these boards with. And that goes the same for my work. I'm going ahead and I'm trying to repin some of my old pins. I'm quickly making new pins for blog posts that are doing pretty well. I have already on Canva, I have templates that are already created, and all I have to do is drag in a photo, change the text, and save down the image. My templates are already made. So there are free, the Tailwind is not free, but Canva, there are tools online that you can use that will save you minutes, hours of your day, every day, if you just learn how to use them. I'm not sitting down every day going, gee, I have to come up with a new pin. No, I have 15 pins already made in Canva. And all I have to do is pick what size do I want today. Great, 600 by 900, that's one image. Drag it on over and I'm done. I'm done in about 15 seconds. And that's how one person in a one-woman show that should be a 5-woman show can get through 30 hours of work in 8. And that's how she does it every single day, because you have to lean in hard on all the tools that you have available for you. I also pay for CoSchedule, which is obnoxiously expensive. And by the way, I still have to write a blog post about CoSchedule, because I heard that if you write a blog post about CoSchedule, they give you half your money back. I still have to look into that. But CoSchedule is $500 a year. I don't even know what I spent. $600 a year, $700 a year. I really have no idea what I spent, but it is money so well spent, because with CoSchedule, I could pin, I could Facebook, I can Instagram, and I could tweet, all using that one system. Truthfully, I don't really need Tailwind anymore, but I like the tribes. So I do keep Tailwind because I'm in a number of tribes. But if you just wanted to schedule pins, you can do everything with CoSchedule. So with CoSchedule, I set up tweets that go out all year long. I have tweets that are set up just for Halloween area. I have tweets that are set up just for Easter, just for Mother's Day, just for the winter, just for Christmas, just for around the New Year's. I have it sectioned out year, time by time, month by month even. And so when back to school begins to roll around, CoSchedule, without me even saying anything, will all of a sudden start to pull the 25 tweets that I have thrown in to back to school, my little back to school pool, and it'll start spitting out my back to school content to my Twitter feed. I'm not thinking about that every day. I set that up once and it's done. Right now, my summer content is getting spit out throughout the day, all day, every day, as well as my generic travel and food content. I have several pools. I told you I have generic content, and then I have very specific holiday and seasonal content that goes around depending on what time of the year is. So by the middle of August, Twitter is all of a sudden going to be talking a lot about back to school, and it's not because I'm doing anything. It's just because I have set that up either this year or last year, whenever it is I set it up. It's just working for me. These systems are working for me as if I hired somebody on staff to do it for me. That tool is doing it for me. And is that worth the $600 divided by 12, whatever that comes out to be? Don't ask me to do fast math right now. A month? Yes, it is worth it for me. And if I ever can get around to writing the blog post about CoSchedule, I'm really pretty sure they're going to give me half back. I really do. I really need to write that on my to-do list to look that up. Last but not least, the last thing that I do, I pre-research keywords for videos and podcasts that I am going to create for that upcoming week. So what that means is, for example, we did a fort challenge. I let my kids build a fort in the backyard this week. And I didn't do that just for the heck of doing that. I did that because I knew that that was a pretty easy targeted keyword that I thought maybe perhaps we can go after as a family and they would enjoy doing it. So I said, let's see about these fort challenges that people are doing on YouTube. Is that something that we can try to do? Yes, it is. And sure enough, we went ahead and we shot that video. I'm not just creating content on the whim. I'm looking ahead of time, seeing what's available, and then shooting it. So I do at night or a little bit ahead of time, I do that pre-research and I figure out what is it that I want to shoot and how am I going to figure out the titles for these videos. I don't shoot and then figure out how I'm going to title what I shot. I shoot after I figured out what it is that we're shooting. So that's something that I sort of learned after starting Vera Sweeney Reviews on YouTube, because I just really understood finally what YouTube is all about, and it's all about search. I can get on any search but YouTube when it comes to Vera Sweeney Reviews, because it's really all about people looking for that particular content. I talk about movie reviews and things like that on that site, and it's really just about the volume that comes in. So if I put a video up about something there's low volume, nobody's looking for that content. In the long run, it doesn't matter how great the video is. If no one's searching for that, then no one will find my video, and that video will not be worth the effort. So high volume, low effort is the way to go for me with YouTube. And I do a lot of proactive work with that when it comes to me thinking. There's a lot of foresight. There's a lot of thinking ahead when it comes to that on YouTube. And there's always some preemptive searches. Now, after learning, it took me, 12 years to figure that out with YouTube. But I finally cracked that nut this year. And I completely understand that concept now after starting a hobby channel. And, everything happens for a reason. That you hear that saying all the time. And that hobby channel started for me to learn that idea, that concept for YouTube. Truly, I really do believe that. So those are the ways that I sort of try to help myself get through the pile of utter disbelief, the amount of work that has to go into every day. I mean, we're planning a conference right now. Like I said, I'm going away for a week. I'm going to be offline. And then on top of that, I'm trying to re-SEO my entire site, plus doing sponsored content, plus having the kids home during the summer. I am completely overwhelmed right now, beyond any shadow of a doubt. I am very highly stressed out. And the only way to get through it is to lean on tools. I couldn't do what I do without all these programs. And yes, they're costly, but you have to spend money to make money. And I do truly believe that as well. So I hope you do look into these items. They really are quite helpful. And that's it for now. Be sure to follow us along in the Permission to Hustle Facebook group. We're so happy to have you. And if you're on Teachable, you can look us up on Permission to Hustle as well. We have more content coming out over there. And until next time.